I got loyalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got bravery inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this. Immaculate conception, I transform like this, perform like this. Without you, a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then overcome. This that paper against the bed. This that I got loyalty inside my DNA.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to season number 6 of the ISR AIC for round number 7 here in the northern hills of Italy at Lago Maggiore. Now the season moves to the sun-drenched hills of northern Italy, where sweeping corners and dramatic elevation changes at Lake Maggiore promise another test of precision and endurance. Now this track, known for its high-speed sections and unforgiving technical sectors, in the circuit demands both bravery and balance, and it's a place where fortunes can change in an instant. Last time out, that man, Andrew Pavia, was the man who maximised his fortunes going into another dominant victory, and joining me alongside once again is Zach Swader.
Yes, welcome Toby, and it is great to be here at Lago Maggiore for round 7 of the Grand Prix here. And a beautiful circuit this is here, but we are getting set for crunch time. But yeah, it was a good win for Andrew, but of course, on pole today, Zach Swader, first pole since season 3, round 2. A long time for this man, of course, took a year out last season, so this is the first time in quite a while. Cannot wait to see what he can do if he can be able to hold his nerve into the first corner.
Absolutely, and this is the grid behind him. He'll have to fend off. You can see Gareth Lennon and Philip Blum both there, but I'll hand it back over to my man Zach to show you where we're racing today.
Well, of course, we're in the Lake District of Italy today, and this is on the border of Switzerland and Italy. You can see the Swiss Alps in the background here, but Lago Maggiore is an interesting circuit. It's very tight, twisty, a lot of elevation changes. The biggest overtaking spot is going to be turn 11. It is a hairpin with 20 degrees of banking, something you rarely see in circuits, and of course, with this being a Gran Turismo circuit, they can do whatever they want, but it's a fantastic track. It's going to offer a lot of action, a lot of sweeping S-bends, a lot of elevation changes, and a good front straightaway. Getting that final run out of the last corner, you can build up some good speed. So we're going to probably be seeing some good overtaking spots. You can see the hairpin corner, 20 degrees of banking. You want to hit it nice and tight, but obviously not give up a lot of spaces if you can. But it's going to be a good race, Toby. I cannot wait to see what happens because it is crunch time into the point standings.
It absolutely is. As we head into round number 7, let's see how our qualifying grid lines up for round number 7 here in Italy. Toby Byrne qualifies P22 in last, a disappointing result for him and last week's race winner Andrew Pavia only managing P21. Then it's Josh Martin and Craig McDonald. Obviously Martin carrying a 5-place grid penalty for his collision with his teammate last time out. Jonathan Carrera and Colin McAllister will take up the next line of the grid. Then it's N. Cantwell and championship contender Jack Tolchard. Also a very disappointing result for both SimStaff cars here today. Reinhard Ecker will then line up on P14 next to Callum Spencer, P13. Christopher Pettersson driving for the home team, Nemesis Racing Team in P12. He'll line up alongside Tom McDonnell. Then Kevin Jacobs squeezes into the top 10 in the other Nemesis Racing car, Josh Wood P9. Then Marcus Townend will line up P8. He's alongside Olav Odven, who'll be looking for some better fortunes today. Douglas Anderson and Christian Braslov lead an all-ART row, for a team really changing its fortunes around. And then it's Craig Evans lining up in P4, promoting a very good result for Northern Lights Racing as Philip Blum lines up P2, but directly ahead of Craig is his teammate Zach Swader. A fantastic result in qualifying for both Northern Lights Racing and ART DHL, and we will see how they go to war here for race 7 in Italy at Lago Maggiore circuit as we get ready for those 5 red lights. And they go out now, so lights out and away we go as we go thundering towards turn 1. Let's see what Zach Swader can do on this defence. His first challenge will be that of Philip Blum, and it looks like Gareth Lennon potentially looking to the inside, but nothing doing on that occasion. It looks like Blum straight up the inside of Zach Swader, and the man who's had so much bad luck in the last few rounds has had a flawless start and screams into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Zach Swader under pressure from his teammate, who's going all kinds of wide and Tokyo drift, but nonetheless has moved his NLR up into a podium. We've got a car spinning, I think, there in the background, but Gareth Lennon under significant pressure now too from Douglas Anderson.
Crazy start where Philip Bloom took the opportunity and saw it. It looked like Swader was trying to defend off both Lennon and his teammate Evans and just left the door wide open for Philip Bloom, who now has a sizable gap of 1.5 seconds. But as we can see right here, Douglas Anderson, Gareth Lennon, and of course Christian Drazilov, they're all in a squabble right here for top 5 as the cars going off into the runoff area a little bit. A lot of dust kicking up, a lot of crazy lines. They're trying to keep the positions defending, so it's going to be very tight this first corner, but clean start nonetheless. But yeah, and look at the gap, Toby. Philip Blum already almost 3 seconds as Craig Evans goes off a little bit right there. And that's going to allow Douglas Anderson to get a run coming down the up and down section into the hill. And as we're going to go right into the turn 11 hairpin, let's see if he can be able to make the move on Evans. He's going to have the inside line. It looks going to be clean. Oh, he pops up the curb and spin for Douglas Anderson. That is not what you wanted. Another car, like one of the NRR cars going off.
5.
Douglas Anderson clipped the corner and more chaos going on, but yes, we are going to get the VSC. What a crazy overtaking attempt by Anderson, but as you can see, this kind of caused all the chaos.
And that has resulted in the championship contender Jack Tolchard being caught up in that too, as we were out on board with Douglas Anderson, who's gone down from potentially P3 to P9. But we will consort to that back in a moment once we watch this replay from Philip Blum getting the dream start. And it's very important to me to announce that Philip Blum has been taken out in 3 point scoring positions, 3 rounds in a row, and this could not have been any more clinical, any more clean. And that is the stroke of good luck that Philip Blum needed to streak off into the lead. It was the perfect start from the American. As you say, Zach Swader defending from multiple cars left him compromised, and Blum took every opportunity. We were out on board with R. Reinhard Ecker for, I think this may have been the car we saw spinning at the start. Let's see what happens. We're going through turn number 2. Everyone nice and slow, nice and uniform, and we can see cars going wide for it. Oh wow, and there's a big bump there, and Ecker loses it and half spins, and oh, he's actually made contact with his teammate. So I wonder if Cantwell will have a damaged front wing there. That's a very messy start from Team Disconnect, both of them a complete opposite start to that of Blum we was just discussing. But I think the next replay might show the man of the hour. This is Douglas Anderson on Craig Evans and this incident that occurred. We can see Swader went very wide initially and made a mistake, which led to a good run from Evans, who then made a mistake himself. I guess just caught up with the slipstream, understeered off, and that opened the door potentially to an ambitious move from Anderson, who has the inside line, and you would think this would be a pretty easy move, but he goes to the inside, he's looking for this inside corner, and he just misjudges the sausage curbs up in the air and into the side of Craig Evans and causes one hell of a domino effect behind him, Zach.
Yeah, he just cut it too inside. The sausage curves are there for that reason, so you can't cut the corner too much. We're on board with Kevin Jacobs, as he probably got a good view of all this scrap going on. And going past one of the other cars, that's Phil Blum's teammate, Olav Otvin. He's trying to make the overtake on him on the inside, and all the chaos unfolds, and he as well hits the sausage curbs and goes into the side of Otvin. And so, yeah, everybody's going to be trying to make corners, and oh, that's going to be one for the stewards. A little bit of an unsafe rejoining there as he runs into the Simstep car. I don't know if that was Josh Martin, who that was. I know it was Jack Tolchard by the looks of it. So here we go. He's going to try to make a move on the inside himself. And let's see, he clips the sausage curves. Not too bad, but yeah, right into the side of Jack Tolchard. I'm pretty sure the stewards are not going to be pleased about that. He'll probably be under investigation for unsafe rejoining, as he probably could have waited just a little bit to let Jack go through, but nonetheless,
safety car ending in
the VSC is
5,
ending now, so
4,
that gap right now
3,
is still
2,
about 2.5
1.
seconds from Phil Blum to Zach Swader, but we're back under racing here as we're taking a look now at the man who tried to make the move on Evans. Douglas Anderson is going to have to regain his composure, regain everything, rethink the strategy now, because that was a lot of time he lost and a lot of craziness happened as we see some of the cars going into the pits. And here we go, under investigation. This will be for... There we go, Craig Evans and Anderson. So apparently the stewards want to look and see if, of course, Douglas Anderson was a little bit too much. I don't know. I think that might be on Race Anderson. For me, I don't know. The stewards will have to say here, so we're going to have another under investigation. This one will be, of course, the Jack Tolchard incident with Kevin Jacobs causing a collision. That was the unsafe rejoining. So, yeah, a lot of craziness going on, but yeah, the stewards are going to have a field day with this one. But as we take a look at Colin Spencer coming under pressure from Ann Cantwell, you know, these guys kind of fighting for the last few bits of points here. Spencer trying to get a momentum going right now, but yeah, the stewards are going to be in the office with this one, Toby.
Absolutely, a very, and we have immediately another virtual
5,
safety car being called
4,
in. We have the
3,
countdown, and I don't
2,
know what that's for.
1. Virtual
Can't
safety
really see
car
anything
in
on the
effect.
circuit. There's no yellow
Full course
sectors, so
yellow.
that's going to put an end to this slight duel that was beginning to form between the two NLR cars. So we're under VSC, and it looks like Jack Tolchard is in the pit. So I wonder if that was just Jack. Yeah, it looks like Jack's retired, and he may have had too much damage to continue and had to pull over to the side. And this is just why they got his car off the circuit. But that is huge for the championship, because that is the man who is in second place by 2 points out of the race, and the virtual safety car is going to get underway once again, and it's a 5-place grid penalty for Jacobs for that collision. But never mind that, because we're racing once again. The championship contender from P number 2 is out of the race. The championship leader is in P number 4. This could be a big day in the championship, but mostly this could be a big day in the NLR camp, as both NLRs look like they're set to go to war. It is a no further action for Douglas Anderson, as you mentioned, just a bit of a racing incident, but we will see the veteran Craig Evans, the leader of Northern Lights Racing for many, many years, and essentially the rookie to the NLR team, are going to duke it out over P2, but they'll have to work together. They'll have to not be too aggressive on each other, because Philip Blum is extending that gap, Zach, with a new fastest lap, as Craig Evans looks like he's going to make the first move to the inside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to get the job done on his American teammate straight away on the first time of asking? No, nothing doing. He's trying to set him up for the up and under, but nothing doing. It's a successful defence for Zach Swader upon the first attempt, but Gareth Lennon has made a move on Christian Vrazilov. We said it could be big. Oh, Gareth Lennon's Tokyo drifting through the northern hills of Italy, but he gets the move done all the same, and now that leaves some pressure to Olaf Oddven. And we were talking about how this could be a big day in the championship, but it looks like Vrazilov is cracking under the pressure, Zach.
Yeah, he is, and Olaf Oppen wants to make everything he can for NAR as well to try to get up some more points with his teammate leading, so he's going to want to be aggressive to join him up and try to help the team as well, as now just half a second between him and Lennon. That's going to be key, and we know how good crazy defense Lennon is, so we'll have to see. But here we go, more defending going on right now, as Swader defending Evans right now. The NLR teammates, yeah, as you said, they want to fight, they want to have some fun, as we got a yellow flag somewhere in sector 2. They want to fight. As here we go, Evans is trying to dummy move on the inside here. They want to fight, they want to battle, but they, as you said, they got to work together if they want to try to scrap away the lead that Blum has. Let's see if they can make this overtake cleaner than everybody else has, as Evans is going to go to the inside. He's aware of the sausage curves, but he doesn't have the momentum, I think, to make the run. So Swader lives to fight another day for now, but a lot of overtaking spots in this track, Toby. We've got S-bends, we've got corners, plenty of corners to make an overtaking if you can be able to get a run, but Evans took a bad line through there, so that's going to compromise them trying to make the setup to maybe get a run on him down the French straightaway. So, but as we can take a look, Olaf Oddven is going to go through and, pinching, careful boys. Big scrap going on right now, but Oddven settles and looked like he kind of knows Lennon just a little bit. He's like, okay, I wasn't too happy with that defense. And I was going to say, Gareth Lennon is the master of defense. It's like Sergio Perez type of defense. He is not one that is easy to overtake. He will defend his spot and make you work for it. And so far, Olaf Oddven is, of course, taking that into consideration and learning from the best of them. So we've got a few cars going in to make their first pit stop, so Toby.
Yeah, Christian Vrazilov, first man into the pits of this first 4 laps strategy to put on lap number 4. Christian Vrazilov will lead that. Actually, no, he won't, because Craig Evans is the first man in to do that as well. So Craig Evans actually snuck in there under the radar, so going for the undercut potentially on his teammate, but he has come out behind an absolute express of a battle train going on in front of him. We have multiple cars going side by side, and Craig Evans might be gritting his teeth a little bit here, because this is an attempt at an undercut on not just his teammate, but on Philip Blum as well. And with this many cars battling in front of you, I don't think you're going to be able to get that clean air and fast lap that you need to be able to perform that undercut. So traffic could undo a little bit of Evans' hard work here this afternoon, but we can see this battle pack is being led, I believe, by Colin McAllister, holding on to the last point available here today. And then it's Josh Martin, his compatriot, just behind him, then Reinhard Ecker, Andrew Pavia, Toby Byrne, and then the man trying to undercut Craig Evans behind all of this. So very much going to be holding him up, and you can see how much he's all over the back of Byrne already. He has so much extra pace on these fresh tyres, but it is so difficult to get through a pack that is battling this hard, and there's a big slipstream effect going on, because Callister has actually caught up to the back of Callum Spencer now as well, and looks like he might be going in to try and make a move into the downwards hairpin side by side. There's a virtual safety car being called already.
5,
something else has happened
4,
somewhere else on the track.
3,
going up the
2,
inside, Colin McAllister,
1.
can he get this done before
Virtual
the virtual safety car's called? I don't know who was
Full
ahead.
course yellow.
The virtual safety car's out. I don't know who was ahead there, but both of them a side-by-side. I don't think the drivers know who was ahead there, but we're going to get a replay to find out what has happened here, Zach. This is Christopher Pettersson.
Yeah, on board with Christopher Pettersson. He's coming into turn 11 right now. Downhill section, let's see what happens here. Does he lose an engine or something? Does the car break? Because it seems everything's under control. And oh, he got sideswiped, and again, another sideswipe into the hairpin. That was crazy. And bit more chaos going on unfolding right now. That looked like Kevin Jacobs, I think it was. I don't know who that was. Couldn't tell. But, it was Ed Cantwell. My apologies there. So let's see what happens right here. Does Ed Cantwell... See if Ed Cantwell makes the overtake. Everybody's been trying to cut this turn 11 hairpin as tight as they can to get the better exit, and they clipped these sausage curves, and that's exactly what Ed Cantwell done. And I think after every so often, I think the stewards are not going to be, I think the first race incident, that's fine, but I think the stewards are going to be keeping a close eye on that corner for that particular reason, and they're probably going to be not really giving him a slap on the wrist. You might see a 5-second penalty or maybe a grip place penalty for Ed Cantwell on that, because I think the stewards are going to be very well aware that that's going to be a situation that the driver should be aware and to avoid. So we'll have to see what the stewards decide on that. So, but it looks like the VSC did end, Toby, while we were looking away at the incident. So we should be back into racing now. Going back to the Garrett Lennon and Olaf Ottman battle right now, as Garrett Lennon has a little bit of a lockup. As there you go, Ed Cantwell and Christopher Pettersson caused a collision under investigation. So we'll see what the outcome is on that. So now going back up front, as you said, Colin McAllister was leading this train, but it looks like Com Spencer. Looks like he's on the medium, so I don't know if, he's pitted or how these other guys have came out on pit stop, so we'll have to kind of see where it is. But right now, Colin Spencer has got an absolute train of cars, and as you said, Craig Evans is behind them, was trying to make the undercut, and here comes Reinhard Ecker coming out of nowhere like he was shot out of a cannon, and he's going to try to make the move on Josh Martin. Nothing doing, though. I don't think he's going to have enough room and overtaking time to do that, so he'll have to try again and try to seize him up a little bit. But yeah, crazy. And here we go. Here comes the penalty, and that could be for, of course, the situation with Ed Cantwell. And there you go, 5-place grid penalty for Ed Cantwell. So yeah, the stewards were forgiving on the first lap, Toby, but it doesn't look like they're going to take any more shenanigans of people trying to take the sausage curves into the hairpin.
Absolutely not. We'll see if that history repeats itself. Colin McAllister is going for round number 2. There's no virtual safety car to stop him this time. Looking to go up the inside of Callum Spencer for P number 8. Looking to boost his, eventually double his points here. And he's hit the sausage curves again. Colin McAllister is round.
Virtual safety car
has been called. And contact! Craig Evans! Craig Evans!
2,
He's gone!
1. Virtual safety car in effect.
Colin
Full course
McAllister,
yellow.
no! That is big and mega, and oh man, I would hate to be on the pit wall with Craig Evans' crew on that one, because he is going to be absolutely fuming. But as you said, let's ride him on board. We saw the initiative, and it's crazy because right before the VSC, he made that. I think he made that work. I think he was ahead, but I guess they decided to say otherwise, and he made the move so cleanly. But again, the sausage curves, we talked about this, is like the biggest thing at the race right now, and then just almost clicks one of them, and then just right in front of Craig Evans. So, whether it could have been, we will never know if, he could have made up all those positions on the undercut, but man, this is not the way you wanted things to see, especially if you're Evans. But yeah, he just, clipped the sausage curve, spun around, and almost took out, I don't know if that was Toby Byrne ahead of him, almost took out one, but then just right in front of him, just nowhere to go for Craig Evans, because he just probably wasn't expecting, Colin to rejoin in that manner. But that's going to be a DNF for Craig Evans today. So yeah, the stewards are not going to be happy. Not only do you, as people more go Tokyo drifting, but not only do you make a move, and they've been watching those sausage curves, but that is an unsafe release. So I think Colin McAllister is really going to be sent to the doghouse after today, because he's probably going to have a massive amount of penalties lining up there after that incident. So back under racing again. Here we got Josh Martin and Toby Byrne, it looks like, and Andrew Prevere. I'm sorry, Josh Wood. Well, all three of them are actually in the same angle. So Josh Wood is on the last points paying position right now, with Josh Martin making that overtake, and we got a penalty coming away. So this is probably the first bit for Colin McAllister. He's going to have once we get it loaded through here, a 5-place grid penalty for causing a collision. That could be round number 1 for the contact with Evans. So we'll have to see if they have anything for him for the unsafe rejoining here. But taking a look at Christian Razloff right now, for anybody that's, I think through the massive amounts of pit stops and all the chaos, he's got some ground to make up, and he's currently outside of the points, Toby. So if he wants to make any ground so far in the points, but, you want to get into the points position, so Braslov's got some work to do here, but yeah, craziness. Craig Evans, I feel bad for him right now.
Absolutely, and LLR as a whole could have been on for a double podium here today. The undercut definitely didn't work. It pitted him out into traffic. But yes, a lot of impatience there for Colin McAllister as he tried to flick spin back into the race. It caused him some issues and caused Evans to be crashed out as Josh Wood getting very feisty, and Martin goes completely off the road, and Josh Wood does not make any further contact. But I'm not sure. Oh wow, we have an ART going all over the grass as well, so we can see Vrazilov getting a little bit impatient. He knows this is a big day for the championship and he wants to get this done, but side-by-side action. Wood actually taking the scenic route out on the grass on the outside there as he's under pressure from Byrne heading into turn 1. We've got a fair few cars in the pit lane though this time around. Swader comes out just ahead of this battle pack, and that puts Vrazilov back into the points. He's on for 4 points here this afternoon so far, pending as anyone else pits. I don't think Spencer or Wood have pit yet, so they will be interesting ones to keep an eye on. I'm not sure if Odvan has either, but Zach Swader, you would imagine, is probably going to come out in P2, so I would suggest that maybe Lennon, Odvan and Spencer have yet to pit, so there is opportunity for further points on offer for both Swader and Vrazilov here this afternoon as we watch Kevin Jacobs racing for Nemesis Racing Team, of course our only Italian team on the grid. Not having the best home Grand Prix, Christopher Pettersson was the victim of contact and is out of the race, and Kevin Jacobs is only just on the fringes of points, and he had a very good race last time out, didn't he, in Spa, so we thought there was some pace coming back for the Season 4 champion, but it's sort of come unravelled here this afternoon after quite a miserable qualifying. He got P10 and he's not really been able to do anything with that, but he's all over the back of Tom McDonnell at the moment. He'll have his opportunity to go up the inside of the hairpin if he can avoid the sausage curves of death, we'll call them, after this race so far. We can see Christian Vrazilov looks like he's close to Burn up ahead as well, but this is the battle we're focusing on. Kevin Jacobs looks to the inside of Tom McDonnell, but he's a long way back. I don't think he'll be able to do anything on this occasion, so he'll tuck back in behind McDonnell and likely wait for another opportunity as we go into the hairpin corner. So Kevin Jacobs, is he going to go for it here? McDonnell's gone a little bit wide, he's on the curves, and Kevin Jacobs has spun himself.
Virtual
He's not taken out Tom McDonnell, so that makes a nice change, but Kevin Jacobs has made a mistake, none the same, and he's in the way of many people, and he's going to cause us another virtual safety car, safety car, if I can speak, here this afternoon, Zach.
Yeah, a lot of craziness, so we can be able to catch our own breath right now. But just looking here, Joshua, looks like Colin Spencer and Zach Swader, looks like they're trying to figure out who was in front of who at the moment. I don't know if the stewards are going to have a look at that, but nonetheless, here it seems like Spencer is going to make the move on the inside, but it looks like he's going to go into the pits, so that looks like it's going to level itself out. So, with that being said, another one that was interesting, I don't know if Philip Blum has actually made a pit stop yet, because I don't know if he snuck in at the same time as Zach Swader did, but he's currently only about just under 3 seconds ahead of Lennon, so if he hasn't pitted, if he stayed all throughout these virtual safety cars, Toby, I wonder if he will fall to victim if we keep going, but if we keep going these VSEs, he should be okay, so definitely one to keep an eye on as well as our leader Philip Blum, because if he can make those tires last. But we're looking at the battle with Marcus Townend and Christian Vrazilov here as they're making places up with all the chaos unfolding right now. They're making places really good, just kind of a patience game here with all these VSEs going on, so that's kind of why you see Marcus Townend just staying behind it. Whoa, actually, take that back. He's locked up, it looked like, and just lost total control of the car, but he gained it back right before he smacked into the wall. So just talking about him being patient, and he just looked like he just had a massive lockup, and he's all over. Don't know if he's just trying to regain his composure after that. Probably wasn't expecting the lockup here, so probably cold brakes or something caught him out there. But now we switch over to the Andrew Bevere, Jonathan Carrero, Colin Spencer, Josh Martin, all in the same shot right here. And this is trying to fight for the lead. They're about just under 5 seconds from the last podium spot. So this is going to be the scrap for the 11th place. So no points graded. We got a yellow flag again in sector 2 somewhere. I have to see what that's about. But it looks like Andrew Bevere, he's going to try to make an attempt on his American compatriot, Jonathan Carrero, in the infamous turn 11. They're going to go side by side, and maybe if he can be able to make the move beforehand, he can be able to take it line and not have to worry about it. But I think we're about to see another incident. Oh, just did squeeze by, but he could have been so unlucky. I think if he would have tried to make the move beforehand, but that's going to make the move, that's going to cause him to come under pressure from both Josh Martin and Colin Spencer, but Josh Martin is under pressure from Colin Spencer himself. So we got battles all over the place within these guys, as Spencer going to take the inside underneath Martin here, going to try to make it stick, but it looks like Martin's going to get the runoff on the outside, using as much track as he can to try to keep Spencer behind, and he hits the curves and slideways a little bit, but he makes the job done. So fantastic racing from both Josh Martin and Colin Spencer. Very well executed from both of these guys. That was a little bit hectic, but they made it stick. But wow, having to catch your breath now at that one. But craziness going on right now. But I think everybody's going to be very patient for the last few seasons, because we could see another VSC at this point.
Absolutely, and then to really go into war, not really any points on offer during all of that. And we can see Ed Cantwell is about a second ahead of Carrera, so once Carrera catches up, I imagine the rest of this train will follow suit. But Pavia has caught Carrera, so these guys are very much now battling for the final point on offer here outside of the fastest lap point, which currently is held by Ed Cantwell, alongside his 5-place grid penalty that he will take into Toronto next time out. Philip Blum leading, he must have pitted by now, and it's been a flawless drive from the man who I believe is still yet to score any points this season. So Philip Blum, if you recall, has had an absolutely horrible string of luck over the last 3 races. He was taken out by Kevin Jacobs in no, it wasn't Kevin Jacobs, sorry, it was Reinhard Ecker in the Lauschwitz ring, round 4. Then he was taken out by Kevin Jacobs in Silverstone, round 5. We'll pause that and come back to that, because Andrew Pavia is looking for another opportunity on Jonathan Guerrero for P number 11. It's side by side, and it looks like he just doesn't have the straight line speed once he pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to try it again anyway. We're going to go up the inside. And no, he actually holds on to it, so he isn't able to make the move, but no contact, and that is a very sensible drive from Andrew Pavia to just back out of it and understand that he'd rather just not take a penalty with him to Toronto, and that is a man who is full of race composure, having an absolutely dominating performance out in Spa last time out. So great stuff from Andrew Pavia, a very sensible head on a set of shoulders there for last week's race winner. But yes, Philip Blum has, in long and short, Zach, has been taken out 3 races in a row, and it looks like he could be about to dominate Lago Maggiore.
Yeah, an insane drive. He made the move at the beginning when Swader was trying to defend from multiple cars, including his teammate, but he saw the opportunity as we see some last-minute scraps as Ed Cantwell is going to try to make the move on Douglas Anderson. And nothing doing right here. Maybe even get the run off, but I think Anderson's going to have the inside line. But yeah, Philip Blum, he made the move stick, and he just saw it, and he hasn't looked back since. So he won this thing. You know, they normally say that you can't win this thing in the first corner. He proved that wrong as we see Andrew Pavia going sideways all over the place. I don't know if he hit the curb or done something, but that's going to allow Colin Spencer to come under pressure as we have some last-minute scraps for the 11th place, as Ed Cantwell is still about 3 seconds up the road from this scrap. So they may not have any points to fight here, but here we go. We got the JSR teammates of Colin Spencer and Jonathan Carrero. That's going to be something to watch here as we see Spencer coming under pressure from both Josh Martin and Toby Byrne behind him. So this is going to be the battle for the ages for the 11th spot. 11th to 12th place spot still up for grabs from this group. But yeah, as we swap through, we go looking at the Ed Cantwell and Douglas Anderson battle, and Ed Cantwell is all over the back of the gearbox of Douglas Anderson. This is going to be for the 9th place. And don't forget, Ed Cantwell has the fastest lap, so if he can get this and get ahead of Anderson, he will get a little bit more points for his book. But he's going to come onto the inside. Let's see if he can hold it clean just like Andrew Pavia did. And yep, just did get behind Anderson, so no contact there. But once again, going back to what we were saying, he saw the opportunity. They say you can't win the race in the first corner, but he definitely did. Philip Blum, as you said, has been taken out multiple times this season, but it looks like his luck is about to turn around as he takes the Italian Grand Prix.
An absolutely flawless drive from Philip Blum to claim round number 7 as his own in Season 6 of the ISR AIC. We have these guys going all the way to the wire as Callum Spencer trying to get past Carrera for bragging rights. Martin trying to do the same with Byrne in the background, but nothing doing. Is he going to be able to attempt anything going into the final corner? An absolute battle pack all the way to the line. A little lock up from Callum Spencer in the final corner. Does that present an opportunity for Byrne behind? It's going to be a drag race to the line, and I think that's going to be all she wrote, but Josh Martin might get a last minute opportunity. Will he to the line? No, just misses out, and Byrne, I don't realise thinks the race is finished as they defend all the way to the end. But Philip Blum claims his first ever ISR AIC victory. Olav Oddven back on the podium again. Fantastic drive from the NAR Nissan driver, and a great day in the office for Gareth Lennon, who is still in title contention and will take those 18 points quite happily. And it is a dominant drive from Philip Blum to take the full 25. We can see Olav Oddven finishes off the podium ahead of Zach Swader, who started on pole, finishes in P4. Joshua Wood climbed up to P5, good result for him, and it is always a good day when your rival doesn't score and you do. Christian Vrazlov, P6. P6. Then Marcus Townend will take us to P7, Tom McDonald P8, Douglas Anderson P9, and the final point and 2 points given his fastest lap award, Ed Cantwell will complete the top 10, Zach.
Yeah, good day in the office for NAR Nissan, a first and third podium, so congratulations to them boys. And of course, Americans back-to-back 1 and 2 with Andrew Revere winning last time out in Spa and Philippon winning today. So 2 wins for the US, so everybody's going to be happy about that. As we flip through the rest of the finishing, we see Andrew Revere just falls short of the points here and finishes in P11. One and also shout out right there, Marcus Townend finishing in 7th. He went under the radar, but I think he started way in the back, Toby, and he climbed to go into P7, so a good drive from Marcus Townend. As we swap over, as we talked about here, Jonathan Carrero and Colin Spencer tried to fight it out in the last 2 points for the 11th or 12th spot, as Jonathan Carrero finishes ahead of his teammate with Toby Byrne behind them in P14, Josh Martin P15, Reinhard Ecker 16th, Craig McDonald 17th, Kevin Jacobs 18th, and of course we go through the heartbreak of the day, Craig Evans in 19th, who got caught up with some shenanigans with his compatriot Colin McAllister, who unsafe rejoined after spinning to make an overtake into turn 11. So the stewards are still going to be looking at that. But here we go. We're looking at the point standings here. And as you said, with Craig Evans finishing in the DNF places, that allowed Christian Razlov to gain ahead. But Gareth Lennon, of course, in P2 in today's race, puts him just about 3 points behind Christian Razlov, so still tight for the first couple positions. And of course, Olav Oddman with his podium position today as well shot him up as well, but he is tied with Jack Tolchard for 3rd place in the standings. So we still got a few races left, Toby, but it's crunch time because we are coming down to the wire at this, so every position matters going in for the last couple races today.
As we head into the Americas for the final segment of this championship, it is very tight. We have both Olav Oddman and Jack Tolchard tied on points, and then Josh Wood is just a single point behind them. And then Marcus Townend 2 points behind them, 2 points to Zach Swader, and then Toby Byrne, Douglas Anderson, both tied on 39, Tom McDonald on 38. So very, very tight as we head into the final 3 rounds. And I tell you what, something that really impresses me is Olav Oddman's consistency. He has still yet to take a victory, but just like he did last season, he's in the championship contention just through his consistency. We move on to the second page and we can see Ecker and Carrera are tied on 37 points, which is just a single point behind McDonald. Then Andrew Pavia on 34, Ed Cantwell 31, and then Philip Blum boosts himself into the talking points with his 25-point victory here today. He ties with Craig Evans, who had a miserable day today, Craig McDonald P18, and then Kevin Jacobs on 17, Chris Petterson then just a further point behind him on 1. Colin McAllister has only scored once this season with his P4, and he will line up just behind those, but a lot of these guys are taking penalties, and we head out into Toronto, the streets of Toronto street race that you see in IndyCar, Zach, and this is a place where it is quite notorious difficulty of the street circuit to overtake. There's a big back straight, but it is still very much a street circuit, so taking a grid penalty into Toronto is quite detrimental to your campaign.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a very tight and twisty street circuit for IndyCar itself. As we take a look at the team standings real quick, AART DHL still ahead, 94 points with Beechwood Team RN with 81 points, and JR1 Daytona just nipping at their heels at 78, so the top 3. But Team Disconnect not too far off, just 4 points behind JR1 Daytona, but 4 points behind them is NAR Nissan with their double podium finish today. So if they can keep the momentum going, they can be able to still climb up at least into the top 3 in the team standings, with Northern Lights behind them, and then CGM Motorsports in 7th. And once again, a difficult race for Nemesis Team Racing in their home race with Bo. I think they had a double DNF, so unfortunate results for them. Nothing doing for them into the points. But while it's tight for the team, for driver standings, it's still about give or take in the team standings, so we could be. But yeah, as you said, Toronto is not a place you want to have grid penalties. It's a very tight section. It's difficult to overtake. Like you said, it does have the straightaway, but it's kind of a North American version of Monaco. It can be very, very sketchy when it comes to having track position. So pit stops are going to be the key there. I can't wait to see what happens.
It's going to be another fantastic round, I'm sure, of season number 6 of this ISR AIC tale. Who will take it all, though, by the time we get to Brazil? We've still got another 2 races to contribute to that story, but thank you as always to Zach Swader for joining me once again. Thank you to you all at home for watching once again. Until that time, we see you out in Toronto. It's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from Zach, and see you then. Bye-bye.